Hey everybody, welcome to my channel Ocean Deep Fishing. I'm your host Ed Froelich and glad to have you with us. So today I'm going to go over a rigging of a lure that I have for when we're out dolphin fishing. I've come across a schoolie dolphin before at the boat, and as you're trolling with your bigger lines, all of a sudden you come across some schoolies. Stop the boat, and a lot of times for those of you who do fish for dolphin and you do get into the schoolies, you know, a lot of people chunk up cut bait and they toss it out to keep the fish around over there, and there's sometimes where no matter what you throw, the dolphin just go up to it, they'll swim up to it real quick and then they'll go away. They don't even touch it. They're really finicky at some point. I don't know what it is or what makes them that way. So I made this lure up just on the purpose of, if you come across these schoolie dolphin and they're finicky, they don't want to eat anything else, this is something that I throw to them with a fast retrieve, and it seems to work out for me. So we just did a fishing trip with Peggy and I went out about a week ago, and we had this scenario happen that we were coming across a school of dolphin. We weren't prepared. We finally got some chunk bait out, chopped it all up, threw it out, and they would just sink. It would sink and sink, and then they would dart up to it and smell it and then kind of go away. I had these lures made up already on the boat just for this instance if we came across this here. So first of all, let me roll this clip, take a look at this clip real quick, and then we'll get back and I'll show you how to make that. Oh, nice jump. Oh, no, you went under. Okay, let's try it again. All right. Yeah. Woohoo!
Other one, but the whole damn thing is hanging.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, just cast this out. All right, got another one. Woohoo! Ah.
That one's a big one.
From the boat and crank it in fast.
We're all just right here.
It's all right. They'll come see it. They'll see it flashing. All right, there's Peggy's. Woo, that's a nice one.
Where?
Go out there.
Right there.
Oh, all right. There we go. We got another one on. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Now this is some fun. All right guys, well I know that clip was kind of short and you might not have got a good look at the lure, but you could see that we tossed it out real quick and real fast, and boom, we ended up getting two. And then unfortunately our lines got all tangled up and the school went away and we didn't get an opportunity to fish anymore. But I'm going to show you now how to make that lure. So let's get to it. So in order to make the lure, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need our lure. It's got some nylon fluorescent hairs that glow and kind of glitter in the water. So that's going to be our lure that I'm going to use. And I also have a pink one. I'm going to rig up a pink one as well, but I'm just going to show you this for right now. And then you're going to need some sort of a leader that we're going to make this with. This is Bass Pro Shops Offshore Angler. It's a 40-pound and it's 100% fluorocarbon. You can use mono if you want to. You don't have to use fluorocarbon. We're going to need some hooks. We're going to need some fishing spacers, and I'll tell you about these in a second. We need a pair of pliers, another pair of snippers, and you're going to need about a number 4 or a number 6 barrel swivel, and you're going to need one of those for each one that you make. These spacers that I bought, I went to, I didn't have time to go to Bass Pro Shop and I didn't have anything left. So I went over to Walmart real quick to the fishing section and they didn't have anything. So I got these at Joann's and I think they're gonna work pretty good. They're 10mm imitation pearls. There's 210 of these here and I got them for like, it was $4.99. And they're plastic, so they're gonna hold up okay. And they're only spacers to hold the hook down away from the head of the lure so that your hook gets exposed toward the tail end of the fly. So that's all we're using is for spacers. So don't think they're gonna matter at all that you got them from there instead of a fishing thing. 210 lasts you a long time. You can build a lot of lures with those. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so first of all, you want to get yourself some leader. Depending on how long you like it. I like them about 3 foot long. So we're just going to get a piece of 40-pound fluorocarbon leader. So we have that. I'm going to set this aside. Okay, and then we are going to decide what hooks you want. Typically you can do a tandem hook setup. That's the tandem hook right there. 2 hooks together. And you can see that almost fits perfectly if you put the eye of the hook right to the head of the lure. Almost goes right to where you need it to. So it's a small lure as far as the size and the length. So you don't have to use a double tandem hook. Now these are about a 5/0 straight shank, long shank hook from Mustad. I'm going to rig it up myself with a single hook, and we're going to use those beads I showed you to make the difference up between the eye here and the head of the lure. And that's what that's going to be. But I'm also going to make a tandem one that you can put in there just in case. And when you make it up, I like to have the hook just at the edge. I like the hook right at the edge and the tail of the feather. Okay, so to make the first one, we're going to take this here, we're going to turn it upside down. There's a hole. There's a hole at the bottom of the head, and this is about a 1/4 ounce weighted head jig. So we're going to put our monofilament, or actually we're going to put our fluorocarbon through that hole. And it's not coming out because the paint, a lot of times that happens, the paint goes over the hole. So you can just use your hook, put your hook in there, and then we'll try it again. Okay, so you take your line out, so now you can see your fly is in the middle of the line. Okay, so at the end of the line that you're going to attach to your rod, we're going to just use this barrel swivel, and we're just going to use a basic clinch knot to tighten that down. Now if you have a favorite knot, you want to use something than a clinch knot, that is totally up to you, but we're going to wrap it 6 times. We're going to put it through, wet it, and then we're just going to pull it down tight. And we're going to pull it down tight. Okay, you can see that's there, and you see the tag line. We're just going to cut that tag line off. So that's it. Now on the business end of the lure, put some beads on as spacers. So what I'm going to do is, now what you can do is put your hook right to the tip. So you're going to put the eye of the hook right at the hole of the head of the lure where you put your line through, and then you're just going to kind of space out how many you think you need to reach out to the end of the lure. So we've got 5 imitation pearl balls, whatever you want to call them. So that's what we're going to use, 5, and that should put it just about perfect. If you want to use another one, we can go 6, and that will push it where the hook is just past there. We're going to try 5 first. Take your hook out. So now you're going to put the beads on your line. Now they have a little hole, so you're just going to slide your fluorocarbon line through the holes, and you're going to let them slide down, and you'll see in a minute how they're going to work there. Put all 5 of them on. Okay, so we got 5 beads, and you can see how they're going to go sit right up in there, just like that. That's your spacer. And then now for the business end, we're going to do the hook, and there again I'm just going to do a clinch knot. If you have a favorite knot, like I said, just do whatever knot you like. Now this is basically, there's 2 things that I use this lure for, and I keep it on a light 30-pound. Now I tie this to one of my light rigs. I got 30-pound braid, and I usually put 20-pound fluorocarbon as a little shock absorbency to the line, because you know there's no stretch in braid. Okay, there we go. We got the clinch knot on there. We're just going to take our pliers and just crimp our tag line off, and there we go. So now to see if we did it right, we're just going to pull it up, and as we go down, you can see the hook is right at the back. And we could probably go, actually one more. The hook is, in my opinion, the hook is buried just a little bit too deep. You see where the point is? So there's too many of these little things that point can get caught on or keep the fish from biting. So I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to put another bead on so we can just attach the bead. So once you make one, you'll know, and you use the same hook and stuff, you'll know what you need to make. So I'm going to make several of these up. I'm just showing you how they're made. That way you can make up whatever you want. So I started to say earlier, there's two things that I keep this on the boat for. One is if I see a passing cobia, I'll throw this jig out to the cobia and jig. And it's also for finicky mahi if we come across a school of mahi that just don't want to eat cut bait. Because I always carry pitch rods on the boat, and I always try to use a pitch rod with cut bait if we've come across schoolies, but sometimes for whatever reason, they just don't want to hit the cut bait. They just like something that's got a lot of action to it. And when you throw this thing out and you retrieve it in, you want to retrieve it fast. So there it is, guys. There you go. Now the hook's just a little bit farther back, and that's perfect. So the beads are white, and there you go. So this is what I used the other day when we were out. I only had one rigged. That's why I'm making a bunch of them right now. I'm going to put them in my tackle box. All I got to do is tie one. I didn't have the time to do all what we're doing right here with the beads and everything. So, and then with the lines getting all tangled up, we probably should have put about 8 or 10 fish in the boat, which we only got 2 from that particular spot. We had one earlier in the day. But anyway, so that's a single hook with the beads. So now I'm going to show you how to make a tandem hooked rig. We're going to do it the exact same way, except we're going to use 2 hooks instead of 1. Okay, and it's going to look like this. You've got your 2 hooks. Okay, so we got 1 hook and 2 hooks right there. Like I said, they're number 5 or number 6 Mustad long shank J hooks. And I'm going to show you how we put these together so they come like that. If you see at the eye right there, the shank comes up and it goes around like this, and it comes and meets there. So right where that meets, you want to take these type of pliers, which are cutters, wire cutters, and you want to put them right in to that space and just squeeze, and it's going to open them up a little bit. You can see where it opened it up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to take the other hook that you have, and we're going to push it through, and that eye opened it up just enough to get that through. So there you go, you've got your 2 hooks just like that put together. So now what you want to do is grab some pliers, and you want to close that eyelid up that you just opened by holding it and just squeezing it closed. There, it's closed. Now your hook won't back out. Okay, so now we're going to, all right, so now we're going to tie another one using the double hooks. So we're going to take about 3 foot of leader. There again, that's fluorocarbon 40-pound leader. Now you got your barrel swivel, and you're going to tie that with a clinch knot. Now 40-pound is probably about as big as I want to go on this leader. I was thinking about doing 20-pound, but occasionally what happens if you do get into some schoolies, there you go, you want to make sure that's snug down. Sometimes there's always a big one with it. You know, the schoolies that we caught the other day, they were all 22 and 24 inches, which legal size is 20 inches, so they're just a little bit over legal. So, but along with the school, sometimes you get a big one that follows the school around, and it can, if you don't have a good strong line on, if they hit it, it can come off. We're going to get one of these out. All right, there we go. We got that out. And also too, if I noticed that I couldn't throw this as far as I wanted to because of the weight, you could replace one of these beads with a small little weight, an egg sinker right at the top to give you a little bit more head weight if you want to try to throw it out farther. I've done that before. Just open up a lot of times the paint, when they paint these heads, covers the whole So just open it up with the hook, slide that through till it comes out. There we go. And we're going to put, we said 2 beads on there. All right, so you put the other one on. All right, so you got the 2 on you want. Now the business end, the hooks. We're going to put the hooks on, make a clinch knot, and you are in business throwing out if you come across them. But this iridescent one, I wouldn't be surprised if you had really good luck trolling it. You'd have to put a little bit more weight, I think, on it. But I think it would do very well trolling. And there it is. Okay, I like that. So anyway guys, that gives you an idea of what kind of little lure that you can keep on your boat to target those mahis when they're finicky. They don't want to bite when they come across the boat. And I showed you 2 different ways to rig it: a tandem double hook setup or just a single hook. And the only difference you got to do is put more beads on to take the space up between the head of the lure and the hook set wherever you want it. All right guys, so one last thing before I go. I like to make some of my lures up, different ones that I use, and I like to have them pre-rigged so that I have them ready to go, so I don't have to worry about tying them on the boat. So when you have so many of them, you know, one of the questions is, well, what do I do with them? Where do I store them? There's a lot of different ways you can store them. A lot of people get pool noodles. They cut them to whatever length, and they stick the hook in there and wrap it around, and then, you know, they put another hook in there, wrap it around. I find the easiest way, and I just stick them in one. I devote a pocket in my tackle box, and I take the lure just like this. And you can do this with wire as well. We didn't do one of these with wire, but you can do one with wire exactly the same way as we did. I just take the wire, the fluorocarbon, and I make a hook just like that, and then I take the end of it, and you're going to wrap it. You're not tying it, all you're doing is wrapping it around. Okay, and I take that just like that, get a little sandwich bag, a Ziploc sandwich bag, and I put one of these in each Ziploc baggie, and then I put all the bags in a row in my tackle box. That way they don't get all tangled up. You take one out. A lot of times I'll take 2 or 3 and I'll hang them on my rod holders just so they're out and available, so if I need one I can just grab it real quick and tie it on. So anyway, quick tip. I have a video of that out in my making lures video that shows you the same trick, but I like to do that. Keeps them from getting all hooked together and messy, and it keeps the feathers all nice. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions at all about what I just did leave me a comment. I would really appreciate a thumbs up. That's really going to help out our channel a lot. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that button, please. Subscribe to our channel. We're growing pretty well right now, so we need to keep going. I'd be so grateful if you would hit that subscribe button and subscribe to our channel. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. So take care. God bless. Hope to see you out on the water soon. See ya.